What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XCN today, OnyxCoin. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Let's get into it. Okay, here we are, sitting at about 2.45 cents. Yesterday, we saw the price as low as 2.33 cents. Getting close. I gotta say that I think that this low that we had yesterday does suffice. I don't think we need to go lower. It's not exactly what I was expecting, right? I was saying something, if anything, I was saying something that was here, if not a little bit lower. I think that the price area I said was 2.3 to 2.1. Maybe I said 2.2 to 2.1, but something in this area. This would be, again, a little bit above what I would expect, but it fits. It's fine, right? It's still got this kind of like one peak here, central peak there that's way deeper, and then a third peak that's in that similar area. I mean, it makes sense to me that we would probably start to build out of here at some point, or whether it's right now or whether we move down a little bit more, maybe today and then tomorrow we start moving up. We're very near the end of this move down. You look at the RSI on the 4-hour time frame, and we got to the oversold zone, bounced right off of it. That's a nice look. We could be getting set up right now to reject just above the oversold zone. Could give us another drive lower in the price, but if it's not that low, we would stand to get a higher low in our 4-hour RSI, potentially some kind of lower low in the hourly price relative to this low here, right? Again, to form bullish divergence on this 4-hour time frame right now, all we have to do is close a price that's below this candle here. All right, so we could move all the way down here, close the price back up around here, get it to where it's close enough to where it has a lower low in the closing price, but a higher low in the RSI, if it'll let me double click, higher low there, bullish divergence at the base of a downtrend in your 4-hour in the oversold zone. Sounds to me like you're getting ready to turn things around and then break out and go up, right? We're assuming a lot of things. This is very presumptuous. You don't need bullish divergence to bounce, right? You didn't have bullish divergence here. That was a lower low and you still had an immaculate bounce. You don't need it, but it's a nice signal. It's definitely a nice signal. Culminating that, in fact, with that you're in a downtrend here. You're in the oversold zone. Likely you're going to see this downtrend break to the upside. You really do, and then, of course, where your lows are, you really do stand to see some kind of reversal at this point and resume your move back to the upside. I do believe we're going to get that. We're probably going to get that, if not today, over this week. I think this is the week, my friends. This week here, what's the day? It's the 10th. The 10th to the 16th, I think, is the week where XCN begins its onslaught to the upside again. I'm not saying that we'll be at new relative highs by the end of this week. We could be. We really, like, genuinely, guys, this could be the week that we are above 5 cents. It could be the week. If not, it's certainly, I do believe it'll be the week that we are on our way above 5 cents. We could be above 4 cents. Certainly, I would expect that we're above 3 cents, 3.5 cents by the end of this week. This will be the week that we begin, but it'll also be the week that we end this down move here. I just don't think that we've seen it yet. Let's look at the 1 hour. And again, the 4 hour is suggestive. We very well could bounce here. It wouldn't be crazy at all to bounce here. Lower lows like this, you're at the right area where it makes sense to bounce and maybe even break out. But I think even if you bounce here, you stand a chance of coming back down, forming a higher low. Like, I don't know. Let's actually look real quick before we get into the 1 hour. If you were to bounce here, how high would you have to go to convince me that this is a real bounce? First and foremost, pulling down to your golden ratio like that and not hitting it, that's phenomenal. I actually like that a lot. I like that a lot. And your golden ratio here, man, it's right in line with this. I bet there was so much buying pressure there. That's actually a really good look, I'm not going to lie. And if you go lower, whatever, it's still a good look. But to invalidate me, you need to get above 2.93, right? That's what it was. I remember from earlier, yeah, 2.93 cents. Get above 2.93 cents on a 4-hour closing period, multi-4-hour closing period, or a higher time frame. That would likely validate this as a low and invalidate that we go a little bit lower, right? But you can move up. You could move up to here and still move down. So moving up to here is not good enough. You need to break above it, right? Because if you move up from here, wouldn't that just be a classic lower high in this kind of series of lower highs? So don't get too excited if we just bounce from here, right? That doesn't mean you're absolved of going lower. You absolutely could, and I still do. Even if we move up, I would still expect that we move lower. The only thing, I don't care how high we go, the only way that I'd be convinced that we don't go lower is if we get above this red line, which is at 2.93 cents. Okay, that's the only, I want it to be very clear. I'm going to say it again in case anybody is confused out there. The only way that I will believe XCN does not go lower down to about 2.2 cents or even lower than that, the only reason that I would believe that it doesn't is if we see prices above 2.93 cents on a 4-hour closing period. multi-closing period, okay? We get 2 4-hour candles to close above 2.93 cents. This is why they call it technical analysis, my friends. It's a very technical game here, but I mean it. You do that, solidifies this is a low, solidifies we're going higher, okay? But until then, I'm expecting you go down here to 2.2 to 2.3 cents, maybe even 2.1 cents. Even down to 2 cents would be fine. You could even go lower than that. Until then, lower is what I'm thinking. But that is a nice bounce. That is a nice bounce right off the golden ratio. You didn't even touch it. That's a really, it's very nice when you don't even touch it, but you reach for it, okay? And such an obvious area to hit. I mean, it's previous areas of support back here. You had all the reasons to hit it, but you didn't because not enough selling pressure, but there's probably a lot of buying pressure, right? 1 hour time frame here. 1 hour RSI in a downtrend as well. You've hit the oversold zone, so this downtrend is definitely coming to an end. But downtrend here, downtrend there, oversold. Wouldn't surprise me if you went a little bit lower, found a higher low, get some bullish divergence. Maybe you don't even get a higher low, maybe you get a lower low, whatever though. You don't need bullish, I guess you had bullish divergence there to be fair. I'm assuming. Yeah, you did. Still, something lower is what I would expect. That's what I'm going for. I think it would make sense that you go lower. Again, unless you get about 2.9 cents, man. Really, even this hour, if you can get up a little bit, this would be rather suggestive you're breaking out now. But sometimes you get blemishes and then you come back down. I don't know. You could break out of this downtrend and still come back down and form a higher low in your new uptrend. You know what I mean? So it depends. Right now, the 1 hour to me makes me think you go lower. It just confirms everything that I'm saying. The 4 hour also would leave the door open to going down, but it leaves the door open for going up as well. Daily time frame, as we zoom out, now we're getting cooked. Now we're starting to look good. We're cooking right. It looks like we're at an area where you'd make sense to bounce right at the 50 area here. We bounced a couple times here, bounced right there even. Found resistance right here a couple times. Resistance, resistance, resistance right there. It's definitely a nice area for some turbulence, and we could find support here. Overall, higher lows on your daily time frame. This also would suggest, I think, that we could go a little bit lower, and if we did, it's fine. And if we were to see the RSI go from its current reading, which is at about 50, if it went all the way down to 40, you guys, we would see XCN. It would probably close a day at about 2 cents or lower. We'd see a pretty big drop. That actually might be enough to send us down to 1.5 cents. And I'm hoping we go to 1.5 cents. I don't think we go there, but if we do, man, I'm going to load up the truck. I'm going to buy a lot of XCN, man. I really am. It's going to be dangerous. I'm going to sell your house and put the money into it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do whatever I can to get as much as I can into this thing if it drops that low. But I don't think it will. I don't think it will. Just showing you my state of being, right? I expect it to go just a little bit lower. And if it goes lower than what I'm expecting, that only gets me more excited. So it's nothing to worry about if things don't go according to plan, right? It's actually encouraged if they don't, because inevitably the plan to the upside is unchanged. It's unwavered. It has stayed the same. And if anything, it's only grown in expectations the longer we consolidate, the deeper we consolidate, and the less volume we see to the downside here. I very much expect that we will hit the money zone. We will hit the 2886 to the 3113. That's between 7.2 to 10 cents, and I think we'll demolish it. We'll probably go up to our golden ratio here at the 3618 to the 3786. Something between 21 to 27 cents would make a lot of sense to me. I think that move will come to full maturity either by the end of February, if not sometime in March. But I fully suspect that over this coming week, probably this week here, the next 6 days, 21 hours, we will begin this move. And through the rest of the month too. So that's all I got, guys. I don't think I have anything else that I want to share. Things look good. I like the weekly RSI. I like where it's at right here. In fact, a bounce right here would look really good, just bouncing off that overbought zone. 3-day time frame, also killer all around RSI, higher lows there. Daily RSI could go a little bit lower, but overall good as well. And then the 4 hour and the 1 hour are the only ones that are making me think that we could go lower, which is nice because the 4 hour and the 1 hour being bearish, but everything else being bullish means we have a little bit of time left to the downside, and then we're about to get started resuming our move to the upside, which again, I believe it's just the same move of this overall move here. It's just incomplete. We have more to go, right? I would even consider this might be about half of it. I just wonder. I'm just curious. I'm not saying that it is half. I'm just curious. Let's just see if it would be, if you could measure it this way. No, I don't think so. Okay, so, I mean, that'd be nice. Don't get me wrong. I would love a 36 cent XCN But all I'm trying to determine here is, will this next move be as big as our last move, or will it be smaller? It's likely going to be smaller, very likely. So something around 20 to 25 cents. I'm personally expecting as our potential high. Something above 10 cents at a minimum. And then, anything between 13 to 18 cents is pretty fair game, but 20 to 25 cents is the pie in the sky. Not even really. It's just that kind of goal of a target that we're looking for. But I'm more than prepared to sell some XCN at lower prices. It just depends on how things go. I got nothing else to say, guys. I'm just rambling at this point. It's nothing new that you haven't heard before. If you like the video, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate you all very much. I want to look and just see real quick at the ribbon. Looking at the ribbon, 4-hour ribbon. It's kind of disrespected though, so that cross ain't anything to worry about. Daily ribbon looks good. 3-day time frame looks good. Weekly ribbon, you're not even close to it, just crazy. And then the monthly ribbon doesn't really exist at all. So yeah, nothing else, man. Nothing else. Does the pi cycle work for XCN? We wouldn't know. It hasn't existed long enough. If it did, it would actually call for a pi cycle top here. That's crazy. Crazy. Short amount of growth, or very short amount of time for growth. I don't know. Anyways, don't weigh into this, you guys. If you're wondering what the pi cycle top is, it works for Bitcoin. It doesn't work for a lot of coins, right? Like, I don't know. Let me see if I can find Doge. We go to Doge, just real quick as a good example. Last cycle, look, it called for your pi cycle top here, right? It was just in a consolidation phase before it ran higher. Called for the bottom here. It was near the bottom, but not quite there. I'm just saying, the pi cycle is something to be regarded in terms of Bitcoin, but when it comes to other coins, don't worry about it. I was just seeing if it had any relevance, or seeing where we were. It's kind of interesting that we're at a relative high in the pi cycle, but I do expect that we go higher. All right, take it easy, guys. I really am just rambling at this point. Bye-bye.